Now, I'll bring in one more point of breathing. Now, breathing is a physical activity. Physiologically, something happens in the body when you're breathing. But you must have also observed that your breathing is affected by your emotions, by your thoughts. If you're thinking pleasant thoughts, if you're feeling very nice and happy and calm and peaceful, your breathing is slow, smooth, and long. And at a time when you are angry, agitated, worried, tensed, unsure, in doubt, and confusion, your breathing is that much shallower, that much jerky, and everything wrong is happening with it. Very, very shallow. So, breathing can be measured outside. You can feel your breath. That's why I'm talking about breathing. Emotions, you don't even know how they come and grip you. अभी मुझे गुस्सा आने वाला है, आ रहा है, आ रहा है, आ रहा है, उसको रेगुलेट करके वो नहीं होता है ना. But breathing, consciously, you can breathe long. You can breathe deep. Consciously, you can breathe slow. If you want, you can breathe through the mouth, through your nose. So there is some amount of regulation you can exercise on your breathing. And therefore, I want to use this connection of breathing for you to understand whether this breath changing technique works for you. Uh, Generally, it works for 99.999% of people, but there would always be some one odd one for whom it may not work immediately, but eventually it can, because we all humans are emotional personified. Emotions personified. Emotion is a very, very integral part of human being. So it's there and it can be attended to. It can be used to our benefit, to our advantage for higher purpose in life. So let us try it out. Now, let's first measure what's our breathing just now. All of you have some idea of what is your best breath. Say if you are a meditator, then you very well know that in meditation how your breathing is. Say that is your best breath and give it 10 points. And otherwise also, every one of us at some time or the other has experienced some nice, pleasant, good moments. And at that time, how you were breathing is, say, your 10-point breathing. Anything less than that is less than that. So, keeping that 10 point in mind, just now see how is your breath. How many points would you give it? How close to that 10-point breathing it is just now. Doesn't matter even if you think it is that 10 point for the time being, because maybe that is the best you have experienced just now. It's okay. Sometimes you never know. It can be still better than that and you have not yet experienced it. So it's okay. If you feel it is 10 on 10, okay, most people have 5, 4, 6, 8. Very well. Some of them even 1 and 2, no problem. So let us make a statement. It should be true to you. This is very important. While practicing VCT, you have to be absolutely honest with yourself, ruthlessly honest. Okay? So this statement is true for you just now, that I'm not breathing very well, and this is what I'm going to make you say. Rather than teach you the technique in the cognitive way, I have just spoken so much about it, I want you to do it with me. So it's very simple. Just do as I do and say as I say. All right? Ready? In between, one thing that I will also be saying, which you need not repeat, is describe the point where I'm doing this little tap tapi. Okay? So tap tap tap. So set up a rhythm first. We begin with this point. I call this point as karate chop point. Karate marte nahi na se. So close to the wrist, on the side of the palm. Keep tapping. Get your rhythm in. Yes. Rhythmic tapping. And repeat after me now. Even though I'm not breathing very well, I deeply and completely love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I'm not breathing very well, I deeply and completely love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I am not breathing very well, I deeply and completely love, forgive, and accept myself. Tap the point at the beginning of eyebrows rhythmically and say, I'm not breathing very well. Tap the point at the end of the eyes using the tips of these two fingers and say, I'm not breathing very well. Tap the point below the eyes at the edge of the cheekbone and say, I'm not breathing very well. Tap the point below the nose and say, I'm not breathing very well. Tap the point in the chin groove and say, I'm not breathing very well. Keep tapping rhythmically. There are these two bones jutting out just below that. At that point, rhythmically tap and say, I'm not breathing very well. Next point is below the armpit, not in the armpit, but below that. So below the armpit on both the sides. I'm not breathing very well. Then on the lower ribs, I'm not breathing very well. Then at the junction of nail and skin on the side of the thumbnail. So I'm not breathing very well. Similar point on the forefinger. Repeat, I'm not breathing very well. On the middle finger, similar point. Say, I'm not breathing very well. Tap on the little finger, similar point, and say, I'm not breathing very well. Come back to karate chop. Still, I deeply and completely love, forgive, and accept myself. I choose to breathe slow, smooth, and long. And I deeply and completely love, forgive, and accept myself. I choose to breathe slow, smooth, and long. And I deeply and completely love, forgive, and accept myself. I choose to breathe slow, smooth, and long. And I deeply and completely love, forgive, and accept myself. Tap the eyebrow point, slow breath. Tap the eye end point, say, smooth breath. Tap the point below the eyes and say long breath. Below the nose, slow breath. In the chin groove, smooth breath. Below the collarbone, long breath. Below the armpit, slow breath. On the lower ribs, smooth breath. On the thumbnail, long breath. Forefinger, slow breath. Middle finger, smooth breath. Little finger, long breath. And karate chop. And I deeply and completely love, forgive, and accept myself. There's a tender spot where you wear your badge or a brooch on the left shoulder. Massage this with the tips of the two fingers as you take a deep breath in. Gently press and hold the point as you breathe out long from the mouth. Yes, continue to enjoy the state. Be with your eyes closed. Watch your breathing and see how many points would you give your breath now. Has it shifted? Most people experience a shift towards the higher end. But if there is somebody who is currently sitting here suppressing some kind of a emotion that is rising up because of some recent memory or things happening, then you might experience a dip. In any case, the shift means that the technique works for you and you can take help of this. First is to get rid of daily life stresses and small things that keep disturbing us in our day-to-day life, which we keep ignoring simply because we don't know any better. Now that you know any better, so you can start using it. Also, it is helpful because by using it on this daily basis for the smaller things, you will have perfected, mastered the way of using it. You'll become comfortable with it. You will have remembered what all things to say, and therefore you will also learn how to vary things to really start working on anything that is comparatively more deep-rooted than just the immediate. So, welcome to this world of changing your breathing.